Welcome to Creepypasta. Please like, share and subscribe. This will help us make more content for you. Thank you.
I made up a character, only to find out that she really existed. I'm an amateur horror story writer. I wrote a character named Alexandra Waterbury, a ballerina, who has an abusive ex-boyfriend, who shares her explicit pictures with his friends, without her knowledge or consent. A few months later, I was scrolling through my news feed, and came across this news article, about a ballerina who has filed a lawsuit against her boyfriend, and his company, for sharing her explicit pictures and videos without her consent. And her name was Alexandra Waterbury. I had literally never heard about her before I wrote my character. I picked the name Alexandra because my favorite actress is Alexandra Daddario, and the surname Waterbury, because it's the name of a town in the TV series Slasher, which I used to watch back then. That is one of the most insane things I've ever experienced. The coincidence is mind-boggling.
Comments. This is very similar to what happened with Edgar Allan Poe. He had written a story about a ship that had gone out and ended up in distress, and they ended up eating the cabin boy with a certain name. The same thing had actually happened years later, to which the cabin boy had the same name as what was written in the story.
I'm pretty sure it also happened to Philip K. Dick with scary accuracy. Small excerpt from the essay he wrote referencing the synchronicities. In 1974 the novel was published by Doubleday. One afternoon I was talking to my priest. I am an Episcopalian, and I happened to mention to him an important scene near the end of the novel in which the character Felix Buckman meets a black stranger at an all-night gas station, and they begin to talk. As I described the scene in more and more detail, my priest became progressively more agitated. At last he said, "That is a scene from the book of Acts, from the Bible. In Acts, the person who meets the black man on the road is named Philip, your name." Father Rash was so upset by the resemblance that he could not even locate the scene in his Bible. "Read Acts," he instructed me. "And you'll agree. It's the same down to specific details." I went home and read the scene in Acts. Yes, Father Rash was right, the scene in my novel was an obvious retelling of the scene in Acts, and I had never read Acts, I must admit. But again the puzzle became deeper. In Acts, the high Roman official who arrests and interrogates St. Paul is named Felix, the same name as my character. And my character Felix Buckman is a high-ranking police general. In fact, in my novel he holds the same office as Felix in the book of Acts, the final authority. There is a conversation in my novel which very closely resembles a conversation between Felix and Paul. Well, I decided to try for any further resemblances. The main character in my novel is named Jason. I got an index to the Bible and looked to see if anyone named Jason appears anywhere in the Bible. I couldn't remember any. Well, a man named Jason appears once and only once in the Bible. It is in the book of Acts. And, as if to plague me further with coincidences, in my novel Jason is fleeing from the authorities and takes refuge in a person's house, and in Acts the man named Jason shelters a fugitive from the law in his house, an exact inversion of the situation in my novel, as if the mysterious spirit responsible for all this was having a sort of laugh about the whole thing. Felix, Jason, and the meeting on the road with the black man who is a complete stranger. In Acts, the disciple Philip baptizes the black man, who then goes away rejoicing. In my novel, Felix Buckman reaches out to the black stranger for emotional support, because Felix Buckman's sister has just died and he is falling apart psychologically. The black man stirs up Buckman's spirits, and Althot Buckman does not go away rejoicing, at least his tears have stopped falling. He had been flying home, weeping over the death of his sister, and had to reach out to someone, anyone, even a total stranger. It is an encounter between two strangers on the road which changes the life of one of them, both in my novel and in Acts. And one final quirk by the mysterious spirit at work, the name Felix is the Latin word for happy, which I did not know when I wrote the novel. A careful study of my novel shows that for reasons which I cannot even begin to explain, I had managed to retell several of the basic incidents from a particular book of the Bible, and even had the right names. What could explain this? That was 4 years ago that I discovered all this. For 4 years I have tried to come up with a theory and I have not. I doubt if I ever will.
My ex's mom passed away and sent us a message on my phone. This is my first post, so bear with me, but after reading many other glitch stories, I wanted to share mine here. In early December 2015, my now ex-boyfriend's mother passed away in the home, following surgery and other health problems related to her heart. She was born with a rare condition. Unfortunately, she went into cardiac arrest, and we were unable to save her, so the event in and of itself was extremely traumatic and unexpected. A couple of nights later, we decided to go see some friends who wanted to offer their condolences to my ex. Everyone loved his mom. We were all sitting in our friend's living room watching TV and, to be honest, they were really trying to distract us from everything. One friend was just being her goofy self, and I was taking Snapchat videos, and I distinctly remember taking a video of, let's call her, Amy. I saved the video, but when I looked at my screen to watch it, it was not Amy. It was a grainy video with a background that appeared to be outside and 100,000% not in a living room, but on the screen was my ex's mom. She said the words, "I'm okay, baby. I'm okay," and multiple other friends saw it on my phone before it disappeared. She looked young and vibrant, and has a huge smile on her face. Someone had tossed my phone to another friend across the couch to see, and the video then disappeared. When we watched the original video back immediately after, my ex's mom was gone. It was Amy in the video again, just like I saw it while recording it in the first place. My ex and his mom had a very close relationship, best friends really, so when we saw her on my screen letting him know she was okay, it was astounding. I saw it first and everyone noticed I was visibly upset. I cannot imagine what went through my ex's mind and heart when he saw that, but to this day, it's something we talk about and something he shares with new friends, something we simply cannot explain other than her coming through in a glitch to let us know she was okay.
Comments. This is something they call instrumental transcommunication. A fancy term for receiving messages from the dead on an electronic device. The most famous ones are EVP recordings, but it's been known to happen through phone calls, emails, texts, TV images, etc. Pretty much any electronic device that can be used to communicate.
What a powerful and beautiful experience of a mother's love, specifically this mother and her son's connection. Thank you so much for sharing this. In the state of the world today, we all need reminders that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. I found a VHS tape of myself as a child at my in-laws' house. This all started a few weeks ago, when my husband decided to go into his parents' attic, in the garage, to see if any of his old Pokemon cards are worth any money. His mom has kept literally every toy he's ever had, so there are dozens of boxes of his things that we've been going through. We found a box that clearly hasn't been opened in a long time. It was taped up and had plastic grocery bags laid on the top, from a store that hasn't been in our town since the 90s, and it's full of his family's old VHS home videos. His parents documented so much of his childhood, so every night we've watched a home video after supper with his parents, and it's been really fun. The videos are from the late 80s, early 90s. A few nights ago my husband put a new tape in the VHS player, and the first thing we see is my cousin's 16th birthday party from 1994, and I am in the video. His parents have no idea how they have this tape, and the weirder thing is, we have no idea who filmed this tape. I've asked all my aunts and uncles, and no one knows what I'm talking about. The video also has me hunting for Easter eggs at my aunt's house, also in 1994. My parents never owned a video camera, so it's not their tape. It doesn't make any sense how my in-laws have this tape. We've been trying to come up with logical explanations for it, but we can't. My in-laws say the box of tapes hasn't been opened since they put it in the attic when the garage was built in 2002, which is before I even met my husband. I would have only been 11 years old when they built this garage, so it's been up there this entire time. It's not like I somehow brought this tape over and forgot about it.
Comments. It's common for people to film events, so maybe whoever filmed it just forgot they did. Last year someone from my church brought in some old tapes for me to convert to DVD, and I was blown away because it was old footage of the old church I never thought I'd see again, and specific childhood memories I had, that were captured, and I had no idea they existed. I remember sitting in the pew playing with my Kush ball, and there I was in the video doing what I remember doing.
Most likely my uncle did film it, but we can't figure out how my in-laws have had it in their attic all this time. They barely knew who my aunt and uncle were before my husband and I started dating. They just knew them as a familiar face, but they didn't have a relationship with them.
Do you have a creepy story? Please share it with us in the comments, and we will post it on the channel. Please subscribe. Thank you.